Hi, I'm Adam Murphy, and I wanted to talk about the third question that we were asked recently, which was, do you support the legalization of marijuana? And my simple answer was yes. Here's the math behind it and the why behind it. 42 states have some laws on the books now decriminalizing marijuana use in some way, shape, or form. 12 of them, it's fully legal recreational medical use. Only 8 states, including Wisconsin, are still fully illegal. We have done absolutely nothing. 28 states have at least decriminalized it, which even if we did that would save us a tremendous amount of money in the criminal justice system if we're not arresting people for small amounts of marijuana. Here's some of the rest of it. Most people think, and understandably, that marijuana is a gateway drug, right? It leads to cocaine, heroin, opioids. And there's a logic to that, because if you're buying illegal drugs from somebody, that person may well have other illegal drugs to offer. So it makes sense. But here's what we've actually found. The real gateway drugs are alcohol and nicotine. That's what starts down this path, not marijuana. Here's the other thing that we found. Marijuana is actually, in states where they've legalized it, now considered an anti-gateway drug, specifically associated with the opioid crisis. Here's why. Many people that fall to opioids are doing it because of pain. Marijuana use, they have found if people are regularly using marijuana, that's handling their pain, and they never get to that level. It's actually an anti-gateway drug associated with opioids. Here's the rest of the statistics that I think are kind of important. Marijuana, 9% of users will become addicted. If you start over the age of 25, it goes to 0. The vast, vast majority of people get themselves off of marijuana by themselves. Cocaine, 17% of people that start using cocaine get addicted. Heroin, 23% of people that start using heroin. But again, this is not the gateway. This is the gateway. Because alcohol, 15% of people that start drinking become addicts, become alcoholics. Nicotine, 32%. This is the addiction that leads down this road. Marijuana is not. Let's talk about some of the other steps that are in here. I've got history written up here. Prior to 1920, marijuana was not illegal. No drugs were illegal in the United States. The 1920s to early 1930s was prohibition. 1920 is when the 18th Amendment was passed. What states found is that people that couldn't get alcohol and were addicted moved over to marijuana. So states started outlawing marijuana use. In 1937 was the federal ban, and much of that was actually based on racism, the argument being that black men were more violent when high. Clearly that's not the case. But what this means is that Wisconsin and these 7 other states where it is still fully legal, we are stuck in 1937. A couple numbers down here at the bottom. 2019, 1.75 billion, 302 million, and 200 million. That is not across the entire country. That is cannabis sales in Colorado in 2019, $1.75 billion. Brought in $302 million of revenue. And this $200 million wasn't just in 2019, but they have spent $200 million just on construction for new schools. Much of the rest of the revenue also goes to schools in various ways. That's just Colorado. 19,592. That is the number of full-time equivalent jobs just in Colorado associated with the cannabis industry. 19,000 jobs. 11%. Listen, I understand some of the arguments against marijuana. Obviously, there's the, if everybody jumps off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge? Just because 42 states have done it doesn't mean that we should. Well, I'm the wrong person to ask because I've actually jumped out of planes. But what I can tell you is that the math makes sense, and I'm all for best practices. 2019 is now 9 years, I believe, 8 years, sorry, worth of data from Colorado. They legalized medical in 2000, so we have, in some cases, 20 years worth of data. This is not jumping off a bridge. This is people have built a bridge for us, and we simply need to walk across it. So 11%, what is that? 11% decrease in Colorado in teen use of marijuana since it was legalized. That's because there's more education, and that's because it doesn't have that appeal of being something illicit. Teen use has dropped by 11%. So that's good for our teenagers. This is good for our economy, and quite frankly, this is good for citizens because it should just be their right. This is about freedom and equality. We can do alcohol, we can do nicotine. These are far more dangerous. 88,000 people a year die from alcohol-related illnesses. Obviously, cigarette-related are far, far higher. Marijuana is not a gateway drug, it is not dangerous, and it is an opportunity for us to make an awful lot of money while also being free and equal. So that's why I support complete legalization of marijuana. Finally, when you look down in Illinois, not only did they legalize it, not only did they decriminalize it, but they actually expunged people's records, which means that people can get jobs, which means people can get their lives back because they don't have those felonies on their record. And that is also good for the economy, and that is also good for people. So that's what I would like to see here in Wisconsin. I think we can help our economy, I think we can help our people, I think we can help the jobs, and I think we can be more free and equal. Thanks very much.